Alright folks, sorry for the ghetto video, cell phone video, but a lot of people have been asking me how to tie this fly, so here it is. This is the fly I'm talking about. It's basically the same pattern that Mike Schmidt designed, called the Grumpy Muppet pattern, English choice flies. So that's just my version of it, which is tied just a little bit differently and moves a little bit differently in the water. This is a partridge universal predator, size 1. I'm using some brown UTC 140. Start it near the back and wrap it to about the end of the barb of the hook. Before you get to tying this fly, you're going to want to do what I do differently, which is create craft for zonker strips. And if you just cut this straight out of the patch, it's going to fall apart on you. So I've been experimenting with all kinds of glues and resins, and I've figured out the most cost efficient and durable solution to that. If you don't really care about money, I would recommend a flexible UV resin such as the Deer Creek shown here, but everybody knows that costs a lot of money because you have to fill the entire back piece with that, and you're going to use like a whole bottle to do that, so that's not very cheap. Next, I tried the liquid fusion, which I use on a lot of my deer hair bugs. This worked very well. It worked. The only reason I don't use this is because it still costs a little bit more than the actual winner of my test. The winner, I bought at Hobby Lobby. It is Elmer's Craft Bond. As you can see, it's only $3.50 for this whole bottle, and I barely even, that is right there, the line, and that is after about 10 patches of craft fur. So what you're going to do is squirt that pretty liberally on the entire back of the mesh. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but usually there's little holes and stuff in here. You can see it a little bit, but the glue really fills that in, and it just makes it way more solid. Much like a regular zonker, you know, from rabbit, like a pelt would be. So anyway, and then once you do that, the glue takes about 24 hours to cure completely. So, you know, you gotta not be in a rush to make these. Just do a bunch at a time, let them sit there and dry, don't touch them. And once that's done, you know, get like a regular hair comb and brush it all out, because there's gonna be a bunch of loose underfur and stuff. And then you're gonna cut little strips out like I did here. This is I'd say about 3/4 of an inch wide, which is basically one of those Texas cut zonkers out of rabbit. And I taper that in just because it looks a lot better. So anyway, let's get to the tying the fly here. So take one of your zonkers there and separate the fur, just like that. Get a nice little tie-in point. You don't want too much of this hanging off of the back past the hook. So I'd say it's, I don't know, 1/2 inch of pelt. Put it on the hook and sort of wrap it around with your fingers. And I'm sorry about my fingers, I do bite my nails, it's all nasty, but I've had tons of questions, so just watch it. Make 2-3 loose wraps around it, same spot so you don't make bulky, and cinch it down pretty nice. Now fold it back and wrap in front just to secure it. Alright, next you're going to need a UV Polar Chenille. This is just the regular size. You just match the colors as best you can. Make some funky colors and stuff. That's what I like to play with. Tie that right in behind there. And advance your thread all the way back up to the eye of the hook. And now just wrap and wrap and wrap. I'm going to do this pretty fast and sloppy just so the video is not super boring, because I don't want to do it professionally and have all edited out sequences and stuff. So just bear with me. And just brush it back with every turn, just so it don't get all clumped up. That's why I don't use the rotary feature on vices. Yeah, you can pick it out in the end, but I just think it looks better this way. Just keep going. You're gonna think you're gonna crowd the eye of the hook, but you're not. Just keep it going. See, you got really close up to the eye. Wrap it off, not twice. Push it back. You can wrap over it just a little hair like that, and you're good to go. Fluff it all up. Separate the hair, just like that. Bring the craft fur back over. Brush it down and out. So you can stretch it pretty well to just so it's pretty uniform. Separate the hair again. And tie it off. And you're going to want to cut this pretty dang close, which is difficult without a razor, which I don't have handy. Usually I use a razor blade, but see if we can't make this work. It's not looking great, but it'll work just for this purpose. Alright, build up a nice little head. Just keep everything secure there. And now take your little comb again and brush it out, because make it flow a lot better. Alright, that'll work for now. Next, take a pair of these silicone streamer legs from Fly Fish Food. Just take the whole leg, drop it right in half on the thread, and bam, V-tie. Just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Whole leg, right in half. And there you go. Alright. Bring it back. Same with this one. Bring it back. Wrap over it a couple times. And you're good to go. Drop a whip finish on it. I usually do two because I don't really know why. I'm just kind of paranoid. Cut that off. For the legs, I just kind of make them even. I don't try to cut too much off. Bam. And that's done. Take a little bit of UV resin or head cement or whatever. And a little drop. Do just fine. Alright. That's good. And now I'll zap it. Yeah. Alright, that's good to go. Front hook is a size 2.0 Predator X. You gotta have the X. That is an extra heavy hook. It's a little bit heavier gauge in the back, and it helps because this is an unweighted streamer. It helps it get down, and it's not gonna get down fast, but it'll get down fast enough. I like to use this with an intermediate sink tip. This is something I learned from KG. You don't want to prevent from crowding the head. Just start from back here. Leave yourself enough room to create the head and wrap it on back. Make your little articulation point. Leave a little bit sticking out the front like that. And wrap it all the way back. Wrap it around the bend a little bit to help it prevent from fouling. I take one 6mm articulation bead, thread it on there, thread it through the back hook, and back through the bead, and up we go. Now make sure it's real straight before you tighten it down too much, or it's not going to work. Wrap it back, just like that, and keep on going. I'm kind of anal about this too. I like them to be perfectly in line with each other. Alright, now cut the ends so they're even, fold them back over, and go right back over itself. Just like that. Be careful right here because you'll cut your thread. Now, just to save some time, I'm not going to put super glue on here or anything. Usually I'll do that. But you get the idea. Next, take the same rest of the zonker that you already made, and where you cut it off, you're going to have some hair missing. Just like that. So, just cut that little piece flat and peel off the tag end so it's nice and flat, and taper that again. That's what I do. Make sure you're coming out. Same thing again. Take about ½ inch of hair away. Just have a little tie-in spot. Put it right on top of the hook. And wrap around. Wrap around. Wrap around. Pull it down just a hair. Not too tight. You break your thread. Put it in the front. Just like that. Back to the Polar Chenille. Tie that in. Just like that. And advance your thread. Do it again. Wrap, wrap, wrap. Getting all tangled up here, working too fast. And so that's another question I get asked a lot, is how do you make your flies look so good? First of all, I appreciate that. Second of all, just take your time. Don't rush through it like I'm doing now. I don't know why you'd rush through this unless you have like some kind of emergency fly that you need to tie for some reason, which doesn't make any sense. So just take your time. Everything as precise as you can get it, and it'll look good. Sometimes I have to tell myself to slow down a lot, especially with working with deer hair. But it just comes to you. Alright. Bring it up to where you started the thread at. Wrap over twice. Fold it back. And keep going. Wrap over itself. That's nice and secure. Cut that off. You're done with that. Fluff it up. Separate the hair. Bring it over. Brush it back. Separate the hair. Find a nice tie-in point. Make sure it's nice and snug tight on there. Roll around the shank of the hook. And tie it off. And then cut the zonker. And secure that big bulbous leftover garbage. Coming out. Just get whatever on the fur you got left. Take that out of there. Take some more streamer legs, V-tie them right on there. Bam. Same with the other side. Got these, they're about the same length. Ooh, I think I missed one. Yeah, I did. Alright. Now for the head, this is something that a lot of people do. I drop a little whip in there first. Usually I'll secure it with super glue right there too, but just to save some time, here we're using Bruiser Blend. Not the junior, this is the regular size. Fluff it all out, brush it, do whatever you gotta do to make it look like that. Stick it right on top of the hook. At the halfway point, wrap over it once, twice, 3 times. Make sure it's right on top of the hook. Bottom, same thing. Using the cream color this time. Right in half. 1, 2, 3. Brush it back with the hand. Once. Fold it back on the bottom. Once, twice, 3 times. Now you're going to build a little bit of the thread head. This keeps all the hair back. And drop your wet finish on it and it's good to go. Yeah, you can do it twice up here even though we're going to cover that. But just, again, I'm paranoid. Now I take my little Stomfo comb. It's like a little mustache comb. And then you're going to brush this out pretty well. Normally I'll put super glue on all this good stuff before I do this, but just to save some time. Brush it all out, make it all smooth looking. You're going to lose a lot of hair, which, you know, the goal of this is to keep brushing it until you stop losing hair. And until you stop feeling, you see these little bumps that you're ripping out with the comb, just keep brushing until those are all gone. That's how you get it to work. So, you get the idea. That's probably good enough for now. All that crap, just throw it away. You can save it if you want to be all like that. Next, you need some eyes, which I don't have with me, so hang on. Alright, here's some. We're just going to use these. These are 8mm. These are Deer Creek eyes. What you're going to do, take some gel super glue, put a little bit on the back, not too much, so it'll fuse out all over the place. Helps if you angle the hook directly at you. Put that right on there and hold it for just a second. Do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of gel. Right there on the side. And make sure they're even. That looks pretty good. Now a little trick I learned from my little buddy overseas there, Daniel with Fly Dressing. Yeah, his name's Daniel too. That's pretty cool. You take a little hair clip and you put it right on the eyes like that. What that'll do is work it with the glue. The glue will sit right there in the hair, and your face will be more flat. And what that'll do is it'll help you swim the fly more. And a lot of people ask me, how do you get the action of the fly? Most of it is in the head. I see a lot of guys use way too much material for the head. It looks decent, but if you actually swim the thing, it's not going to work. It's not going to swim at all. It's just going to be, you don't want that. At least I don't. You know, before you do all this eye goodness and stuff, you know, you could color up the head, do whatever you like to do. You know, just like this, I like to blend some colors and put some on the top just to make it look like something, but just to save time, I'm not going to do that. I recommend these chart pack markers. These were for fly tying. Very good. Also, Sharpies work really well. Bruiser Blend is really good material for taking color. It's pretty much the best material I've used to create heads like this. Very highly recommended. I'm sure most of you've seen it if you're watching this video. So anyway, give it a try. Good luck to you. Let me know if you catch something on them. Good luck.